Hello and welcome to Postures and Pranayam. Today we are going to be doing the 4 movements of your neck. I'll begin by explaining the benefits. It can help you to expand or preserve your range of motion in your cervical spine. It helps to relieve stiffness and pain in your neck. It helps to prevent arthritis in your neck. It helps to bring awareness to and improve your postural alignment of your spine. It brings increased blood flow and oxygen to the area, which helps to alleviate pain in your neck. It helps with tightness in your neck, and it can help to release tension in your neck, shoulders, arms, and back, and wrists. And it helps to reduce tension, headaches. Helps to prevent problems in your hands and your wrists as well. So let's go over a few contraindications for this class. Hyperextension of your neck, that means actually like taking your head back like this. I don't advise that for anybody. If you have disc injuries or are concerned that you might have one, then be sure to talk to your doctor about the right neck movements to improve your condition. Chronic illnesses such as osteoporosis or serious injuries such as broken bones can undermine the structure of your neck and your shoulders. So if you have structural abnormalities, do check with your doctor and get some guidance with your doctor about what you should do. If you've experienced whiplash, it's also a good idea to have a conversation with your doctor about which neck movements are helpful for you and which exercises are going to be harmful for you. As always, a little tension is normal when you do movements, and gentle stretching exercises can help to alleviate it. However, severe pain is your body's way of telling you something is wrong. So if you have distracting neck pain or you're experiencing sudden sharp pain, avoid all neck movements until you can talk with your doctor. Dizziness is also another warning sign, so don't push through any dizziness and keep going with these movements that we've got in this series. So you're going to need some props for today's class. You are going to need a chair. You're going to need your soft squash ball. That's the squash ball with 2 yellow dots. And you're also going to need the soft foam roller. I'll link in the show notes which one you need. I recommend the melt foam roller. I don't get any money by recommending this one. It's just the one that I think works the best. Pardon? I don't get anything by recommending this, yeah. If you have any chronic health conditions such as fibromyalgia, ME, chronic fatigue, cancer, or any nervous system disorders, then be sure to read the link that I'll include in the show notes too before you start using any of the connective tissue practices. I have a huge post on this, recommended order, how long you can do connective tissue practices, the number of days that you should leave between, and all sorts of recommendations for you. So please do make sure you watch those as well. The other really important thing for these classes is water intake. We are hydrating your tissues by doing this, so be sure to drink a full glass of water before the class. Have a glass of water during the class that you sip during. There'll be lots of time when I'm educating you, giving you lots of ideas that you can sip on water between the exercises and then drink another full glass of water after the class. Feel free to do any parts of this class or any of the neck movements while sitting in a chair. So we'll often come up to seated, but you can do any of those while you're in a chair. Okay, we're going to get started by lying on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. And maybe just take a moment now to notice the time on the video so that you don't have to listen to that whole introduction again. If you're going to do this video again, and maybe I'll take a minute to notice that too and put it in the show notes for you as well, because once you've listened to that once, you don't need to listen to it again. Okay, you're going to begin by rolling your head side to side. Breathe in the center. Breathe out, roll your head to the side. And as you roll your head from side to side, without straining or efforting, we're doing this to notice, to observe, to bring awareness to what's happening now, without striving in any way. This is an exercise in gathering information here. So notice, without it being a goal, how close your ears are to the ground here. And then come back to the center. And then what you're going to do is roll your head to the right and roll your eyes to the left. So we're going to begin right away today with some brain yoga. So your head goes to the right, your eyes go to the left. And then your head goes to the left and your eyes go to the right. So head and eyes go opposite direction. Head goes to the right, eyes go to the left. Head goes to the left, eyes go to the right. And you keep doing that. Roll your head to the right, roll your eyes to the left. Roll your head to the left, roll your eyes to the right. Head and eyes keep going to the opposite direction. You keep doing that, and I'm going to explain to you why we are doing that. The reason why we do these kind of brain exercises, these brain movements where you're stimulating these new neural pathways in your brain, is the more you stimulate your vestibular system, the more nerve connections you can make in your brain, in your body. Your vestibular system is tied to the muscles of your core and your back, and these muscles work together to move your head. Moving your neck and your head is tied to your core musculature. So mastering head control is essential to balance, posture, and coordination. Okay, now bring your head back to the center. And I want you to check in again. Bring your eyes back to the center. I want you to check in again and just see if your ears come closer to the ground now. So before, my ears didn't touch the ground, and now my ears touched the ground all the way. So I want you to observe that it's not just the connective tissue practices that create more range of motion in your joints, but also the brain yoga practices that increase range of motion in your joints. Okay, so I hope you observe that as well. And then we are going to take your foam roller now, and you're going to place your foam roller behind you. And if you have long hair, make sure you either tie it up or lift it up. It's probably best if you have it tied up, to be honest. You're going to lift it up behind you. And you're going to place the foam roller right at the base of your skull along your occipital ridge. Okay, so once you've got it here, you can just take a focused breath here. And then you're going to roll your head from side to side until your ear touches the roller on either side. So you need fairly firm pressure so that the roller doesn't roll away from you. And if this is too much pressure, then you need to take the foam roller into your bed with you so that it's less pressure, or even do this whole sequence against the wall so that it's even less pressure. So you're rolling your head from side to side, and especially if you get headaches, this will probably feel really good to you. Now you're gonna roll to your right side, and you'll probably feel there's like to me it feels like a little bulgy, almost like it almost feels like this. I'm exaggerating how big that is underneath the right side, and you're gonna stop there. So it's kind of halfway between the center and your right ear. You'll feel that pressure point there where something's happening. There's more tension there. And then you're going to circle your head in little circles. You're going to circle your nose. Now, if you have any cervical spine issues, then you can lessen this by rolling right onto your side to do this. And you can do everything that we're doing right on your side, okay? So with your head turned to the side, you're going to circle about 5 times in one direction, and then 5 times in the other direction. And then you're going to nod your head, why yes. Why yes, I am enjoying these connective tissue practices. They are so lovely, Melissa. I am so glad you are including them on the membership site. And then you're going to nod no. Why no? There is absolutely nothing I would rather be doing right now. And then come back to the center and take a deep breath in. And let it go. And feel yourself sink into the roller. And then you're going to roll over onto the other side until you feel that little knobby on the other side. And then you're going to circle there. And again, if you have any disc issues, any neck issues, and you want to alleviate the pressure here, so you want it to be less, then you're just going to roll all the way over to your side and do absolutely everything that we're doing, the circles both ways, the yes, the no on your side. It just will make it less pressure again. So here you're going to do circles. Circle the other way. And then yes. And nose. And then you're going to take a focused breath there. Breathe in. Breathe out. And as you breathe out, let yourself sink into the roller more. And then you're going to come back to the center. Take a deep breath here. And now you're going to do figure eights here in the center. So you're just going to make figure 8 motions here in the center. And then reverse the direction of your figure 8s. And come back to the center, take a breath. And now you're going to take the foam roller, so it's right at the ridge, the base of your skull. Now you're going to move it up from the ridge, the base of your skull. You're going to move it up away from your neck to about the center of your head. And then you're going to tuck your chin. And when you do that, you're going to feel some tractioning through the back of your neck. So imagine a massage therapist is taking their fingertips and just lengthening your neck. That's what you're trying to do for yourself here. So you're just tucking your chin. You've got that foam roller halfway up the center of your skull. And then you're tucking your chin, tipping your nose down towards your breastbone. Okay, now you're going to take your hand behind your head, keep lengthening, use your hand to hold your head up, roll that roller out from underneath you. Place your head down again and just check in, see if your neck feels longer. Take a deep breath here. See if it feels like there's more space between the vertebrae of your neck. And then inhale. Exhale, roll your head from side to side. Feel if there's more range of motion from side to side. If you can touch your ear all the way to the floor now. If there's less tension in your neck. If there's more range of motion. Just notice the differences after those soft tissue practices. And then you're going to bend your knees, roll to your side, and make your way up to seated. Okay, so now would be a good time to have a water break. So let me tell you while you're having your water break, a sip of water, why we use the foam roller. So our body is filled with sensors and proprioceptors in our skin, joints, tendons, and muscles that feed our brain with a sense of self every time we move and experience our environment. The more we move, the more we flood our brain with information from our proprioceptors about what our body is doing and where our body is at. This flood of information creates a good body map or cortical map or movement map of our brain, in our brain. And the better our movement map is, the better we move. So when you were doing all those movements on the roller just now, on the back of your map, on the back of your roller, you were creating a better movement map for your neck. And so that's why you're able to move your neck better after the roller. Okay? So now what we're going to do is from the seated position, and you can do this from a chair. And if you're sitting, I would encourage you to get a meditation cushion so you can raise your hips. What we're going to do is you're going to check ear to shoulder. And I'm probably going to get Tim to get me my meditation cushion because I'm going to be sitting for a while. There's going to be a lot of sitting. Okay, so you're going to just check in. So this is evaluating, seeing where you're at. It's not a striving thing, so just check ear to shoulder on one side and ear to shoulder on the other side. And just notice any tension, range of motion. Notice what's happening. And then take your soft squash ball with 2 yellow dots and place it underneath your right palm. And if you haven't done the hand connective tissue class, then I would encourage you to do that first prior to doing this class, because then you'll learn these moves first, and I'll assume you have done that class already and have learned the basic ideas behind this first, and then we can go through this a little more quickly here. So you're going to take the ball, you're going to put it underneath your palm, you're going to press in the center of your palm, then you're going to press underneath the big thumb, the thumb, and then underneath your pointer finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and your baby finger. Back to your thumb, circle. And then go from your thumb over to the other, you're going to go back and forth here at the base of your palm. And then you're going to go in one direction from each finger down to the base of your hand, all the way to your wrist. And we're going to do that 3 times. And we're just going to do our right palm. Okay? And then that's it. And I want you to check in with ear to shoulder again and just notice the difference. So I did my right hand, so I notice I have way more range of motion on the right side of my neck and not so much on the left side of my neck. So I'm going to get you to be more even, and we're going to do the left side. So you're going to take the ball under the center of your palm on the left side and press, and then underneath your thumb and press underneath each, at the base of each finger. And then circle at the base of your thumb. And then go from your thumb over to the bottom of your hand on the other side. And then in one direction from your thumb all the way to the base of your wrist, and then we'll go down each finger like that. You could do this sitting at a table too, so that this could be on a table for you. And then after doing just your palm, we're going to check in ear to shoulder again on both sides. And notice if there's less pain, less tension, and more range of motion on both sides now. So there was for me. And if you want to know why we're doing this connective tissue practice, a little bit more about that, well, the repetition of your daily living causes your connective tissue to become dehydrated from excessive compression, pull, and friction. It makes your connective tissue less supportive, responsive, and adaptable, which causes strain in your muscle, compression in your joints, and disconnection in the communication required for any bodily movement or position, which is your proprioception that we already talked about. And you can't just drink water to rehydrate your tissue. You have to get the fluid moving in your tissue. So that's why we're encouraging you to drink water while you're doing these practices, so that you start to move the fluid through your tissues. Okay, so we're going to do chin to chest, just to check in with your range of motion. So notice how that feels all the way along the back of your neck. Notice any pain or tension in the back of your neck. And then we're going to roll the top of your hand. So take the ball in your right hand to begin, and you're just going to roll down each digit and between each digit. So just like that. I'll do it twice on each hand. So then the back of your hand on the opposite hand gets a little bit extra, and so does your wrist, because it goes all the way to the wrist. And so we'll do that for both hands. So use your left hand to go down each finger and between each finger on the opposite hand as well. Make sure you keep breathing. Okay, and then you're going to check in again. You're going to go chin to chest again. And just notice if that range of motion is more fluid, if there's more range of motion, if there's less pain. So the quality of that movement for me is way better. It feels way less crunchy to me. There's way less pain. My neck feels longer and more fluid. So a little bit more, have a little bit more water while I tell you why we're doing these connective tissue practices. So Sue Hitzman believes that connective tissue dehydration is the underlying cause of all strain and pain in your body and a catalyst for symptoms caused by repetitive stress and strain of daily living. She says the habitual movements and postures, that is, whatever you do most during the day, creates dehydration and joint compression. So anything from sitting at your desk, running a marathon, carrying groceries, carrying children, your sleeping positions, and even gentle exercise, medications, environmental toxins, poor diet, sleep habits, all these cause dehydration to your connective tissues. The more areas of dehydration there are, the less fluid absorption there is overall, causing dehydration to become a systemic problem. So without adequate fluid, connective tissue loses its ability to become adaptable, supportive, strong, affecting your muscles, joints, nerves, organs, and every cell of your body. So for example, if you have dehydration in your thumbs from using devices like this, then that can spread up to your wrist and up into your forearm and up into your neck. Okay, so now we're going to check our range of motion by circling our head around and in front. So go both ways, and remember we're not doing any hyperextension, so just you're staying in front of your shoulders. So circle your head around and in front. Pay attention to any tight, tense areas, any areas that say, ooh, ooh. Just notice those. You know what I mean? These are very technical terms. They're in medical textbooks. Okay. You spell ooh. There's two ways to spell ooh. You can spell it EW, but then it's kind of more like ooh, that's a worm. But I think the ooh we're going for is ooh, ooh, OOOH. That's ooh. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Okay. Now you know. Okay, now come back to the center now that you've done your assessment, and you're going to take your soft squash ball and we're going to put it on your arm. So you're going to take it and put it in your left hand. We'll do it on your right arm. So take it and place it on your arm, and you're going to use it. You're going to roll it up your arm, and then you're going to circle it, and you actually want to twist your skin here. So see it kind of twisting your skin, kind of like a spiral. Okay, so it's actually turning the skin from side to side, so there needs to be a fair amount of pressure to do that. Not as little pressure as you can to be able to twist the skin, okay? And then stop and lift the ball up. So did you see there's kind of like a buoyancy that happens where you lift the ball off the skin. Okay, so I'm going to keep showing you guys here for the purpose of demonstration, but I want you guys to keep your arm relaxed either on a table so your shoulder doesn't get tense, or on your leg so that everything else stays relaxed. But I think for the purpose of demonstration, it's better for me to stay up here. So then you're going to put a little bit of pressure on that ball again so you get into the tissue, and then you're going to squish the skin up, the arm again. Technical terms again here. Ooh, technical terms. Still spelled OOOH. And then you're going to spiral the skin again. It looks like those kind of psychedelic spirally. Do you remember those little things we had as kids that you looked into? Kaleidoscopes, yeah. Okay, then you stop and then you lift the ball up. And then you're going to squish the skin up again. And you
How old are you?
I'm pretty old. Not as old as some of our members. Not as old as Tim. And then you're going to lift the pressure up. You're going to squish it up again. Circle. And then lift the pressure. And if you got room to do one more, squish it up, spiral. Gets really juicy up here. And lift the pressure. Okay, and then you're going to roll the ball down the arm. So now you're you are sweeping it out. So it's like when you get a massage, you know how it builds up lactic acid? Well, the same thing happens here. So you're sweeping that lactic acid out of your forearm. Okay, so now what we're going to do is check in again. We just did one forearm. We're going to feel the difference between your two forearms first. And then you're going to check in with that circle again. And feel the difference between the one side of the circle and the other side of the circle right now. The fluidity on the two sides. And then you're probably going to want to do the other side. So let's do that on the other side too. So keep your hand on your lap because I think that lets you keep your shoulder relaxed, or better yet, do this sitting at a table with your arm resting on a table if you're sitting in a chair. And then you take the ball at the base at your wrist and you squish the skin up, and then you circle the skin so you can actually see your skin spiraling. I can't remember if we did this in the hand class, if we did forearm work or not. That's kind of why I'm going slow with this, because I think we didn't. And I don't think I did. I think I left some, I don't think I showed everything in the class. I wanted some stuff to be in new when it came out in other classes. You don't want to reveal everything all at once, right? And then you're going to relax and lift the pressure off. And then you're going to squish the skin up and then circle again. Wow, you remember that? You remember that day when we filmed in the park? And yeah, you can remember what was in that class?
Yeah.
Wow, it's impressive.
This wasn't it.
Would you go under oath and say that?
That this wasn't in the class?
Yeah.
After I checked.
After you check it. Okay. Okay, lift and squish the skin up, circle. Lift and squish the skin up and circle. See, we're working on our neck and it's all about truth and speaking the truth. So I think it's kind of funny that I asked you if you'd go under oath about that. Okay, and then you're going to sweep this out. Any toxic buildup here. This is a really great one to do if you are a massage therapist. When I used to do Thai massage, now I am horrified that my forearms used to just get like rocks when I did massage, Thai massage, and I used to roll my forearms, and do not do this. I used to roll them with a rolling pin because they get so tight. Don't do it. And they used to get bruised because it was awful. But I mean, they were just so rock hard. I was just beside myself trying to Anyway, so this was before I knew better. So now you know better. Do not use a rolling pin on your forearms if you're a massage therapist. Okay. There you go. Now go ahead, check in, roll your head from side to side again. Oh yes, that feels very nice. I got a nice release in my neck there. Keep going, and I'm going to explain why these practices work. Rehydrating your connective tissue will allow you to rebalance your nervous system, allow you to release long-held tension and discomforts from daily living caused by repetitive postures and movements in everyday living. It helps to reduce accumulated stress in your nervous system. Okay, so I believe I have one more brain yoga exercise for you. And this one's really cool. This one kind of blew my mind when I first learned it, so I'm excited to blow your mind now. So what you're going to do is you're going to turn your head to the left, and then you're going to drop your chin down to your chest. And then the movement is this: chin down to your chest and chin up to the ceiling. So we'll just get the movement first. Chin to chest, chin up to the ceiling. So your eyes are probably going with the movement now. So you can probably figure out what's going to happen next. Is that your eyes are going to go opposite of the movement. So when your chin goes up to the ceiling, your eyes are going to go down to the floor. And then when your chin goes down to your chest, your eyes are going to go up to the ceiling. So it goes opposite. Keep breathing. And then come back to center, and then turn your head to the right. Drop your chin to the chest, and then go chin up to the ceiling, chin down to your chest. Chin up to your ceiling, chin down to your chest. So just get the movement first. And then you're going to add the brain yoga, which is when your chin goes up to the ceiling, your eyes are going to go down to the floor. And then when your chin goes down to your chest, your eyes are going to go up to the ceiling. Notice if it's more challenging on one side than the other. Okay, come back to the center. And we'll circle our head around in front and just notice if there's more ease there. So let me tell you why we're doing that brain yoga. That was an exercise by Thomas Hanna, who is the creator of a form of exercise called somatics. And he says everything that happens to us during our lives causes a necessary reaction in our central nervous system. Our brain responds and adapts to the events that occur. Any imbalance in the sensory motor system creates imbalance throughout the entire body. When the muscles in one single limb become spastic or clumsy or too flaccid, this loss of control and efficient coordination with the musculoskeletal system causes an automatic compensation within all the other interconnected body parts. The brain brings about these compensations automatically and unconsciously in an attempt to rebalance your whole system. Okay, so good job. Now you get to rest. You can take Shavasana, and we'll talk about how what all of this means on a deeper level. So go ahead and lie back in Shavasana. You might want to put a blanket over top of you and put a bolster underneath your knees. Start by taking a deep breath in through your nose and let it fall out of your mouth. Allow yourself to settle in here, feeling the wonderful length and ease in the back of your neck. And we'll begin by exploring your neck through your koshas, through the layers of your physical and mental, emotional, and spirit and energetic body. So physically, your Annamaya kosha now, just notice how your neck feels at the end of this class. And as you breathe, just notice how your breath moves through your neck and how this part of your body feels energetically. Your neck has to do with purification. Emotionally, your neck has to do with feeling heard, but also creative expression as well. As far as your thought body, your neck has to do with your internal communication, so your self-talk. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the spiritual connection with this part of your body a little bit later with Saraswati. The Ayurvedic connection with your neck, I chose to focus on the Pitta constitution. Fiery Pittas need to exercise caution with their speech. They can feel irritable and have a propensity to push and provoke, and Pittas can be assertive and have strong opinions with a tendency towards anger. So if you are a Pitta, consider taking a long exhalation before you speak, and that will help you to cool your fire and relax before you speak. You can also try Gabrielle Bernstein's acronym WAIT. Why am I talking before you speak? The traditional Chinese medicine connection for this area of your body, the neck, it's really difficult to choose any one because all of the organ meridians run through your neck. So it's kind of like the superhighway for the organ meridians. Now, as I said, I would come back to the spiritual connection for this. Goddess Saraswati is the main spiritual connection in terms of the Hindu deities because she is the goddess of music and sound. She is the goddess who will help you transform your world through your words. This is the goddess of the creative speech, and she will help you to give passionate and deeply moving speeches while helping you also to step out of your own way. You can call on Saraswati to help with all of your communication. In terms of the chakras, this has to do with the throat chakra, your fifth chakra, the Vishuddha. Communication and creativity are the main issues here, purification as well. The archetypes have to do with the communicators, orators, having the ability to bring forth ideas and inspiration to many people. The shadow side is that they can use information and knowledge for personal gain. So Winston Churchill, Martin Luther King are examples of the light side of this archetype. And on the shadow side, the archetype can use things for selfish and political and financial gain. So everybody knows that Hitler is the best known shadow side archetype. As far as the moon phase, the full moon would be the moon phase associated with your neck area in your body, as it is the time of the full moon and the full creative expression. So here are the quotes from the Yoga Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita that I have chosen. My quote from the Yoga Sutras has to do with the throat chakra, Vishuddha, being about purification. It's from chapter 1, verse 8, and it says, "Misunderstandings come when perception is unclear or tinted." So I believe this points to the importance of purification in order to avoid misunderstanding and to have clear communication. My quote from the Bhagavad Gita is from chapter 17, verse 15. And it says, to offer soothing words, to speak kindly and helpfully, and to study the scriptures, these are the disciplines of speech. So allow all of this to wash over you and just notice what stands out to you about this practice of the 4 movements of the neck. I think probably a lot of people wouldn't think about this as a yoga practice, but to me it is one of the most important yoga practices. Your neck is the gateway between your head and your body, between your heart and your mind. And I would love for you to reflect now on what stood out for you about this practice. And once you've determined what stood out for you, consider one small thing that you are going to put into action in your life as a result. And then you can gradually allow yourself to wiggle and stretch out. Allow your breath to deepen. Bend your knees, roll to your right side, and slowly make your way up to seated. So thank you for joining me for this class on the 4 movements of the neck for postures and pranayama. I'd love to hear what stood out to you for this class, your insights and your awarenesses. Please leave them in the comments, and I will enjoy having a conversation with you about this. Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.